This is Brian, and welcome back to this commentary playthrough of Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, and what should be the end here. Pretty sure. We got Gardeos here. I think it's the final fight, so we're going to get right into it. I'm still going to try to mirror everybody, I think. Do a drain. Let's try some of her strongest stuff and see how she does. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Didn't have mirror up on everybody yet for that, but... Okay. Alright, it missed Lufia at least. I don't remember, or I mean, I don't know what status effect that can do, but I think it's a status effect attack. And I'm just basically gonna keep repeating this then. Yeah, we do. Okay, he confused him. Didn't get the mirror off in time there. I think Shriek is the one that'll cure that. Okay. So far, he doesn't have the greatest variety of attacks. Yeah, he keeps trying to do that attack, which can confuse me. It'd be a huge pain in the ass if I didn't have the mirror on. Okay, and there's blood. At least all four of them should bounce back onto him now. I think I was up to her. Use another drain. Just to help Aguro's attack even more here. Yep. Gonna change too much there. Suppose that could also be because Trick ran out. I'm not sure exactly how long those things last, and they don't really seem to let you know. Here, it does tell me when it runs out, but I haven't seen that the other stuff does. Where was I at? The order. I think it was on her. Okay, we're all still mirrored at least. Yeah, he must be immune to confuse also, I would guess. Alright, we got him. Unless there's another form or something. Yeah, okay, 0 experience, 0 gold. That would indicate to me that that is the end. Lufia. Lufia? Hold the sword, Maxim. Lufia. Lufia, what? 16 years ago, I was born as Lufia, but I was Aram long before that. I don't believe that. Just as the Sinistrals are your enemies, those with Maxim's blood are mine. How can we be enemies? Sinistrals are my foes, not you. I am the Sinistral Aram. Even if you defeat Amon, Deos, and Gades, I'll return again as long as I live. Finish this, Maxim. Lufia, don't do this. Maxim, destroy me. The dual blade? Why did the dual blade go to Lufia? Where is she? I never wanted to fight her. Maxim. Lufia! I was so scared. All the memories of Aram flooded into my mind. It just wouldn't stop. I started to forget about you, Maxim. That's why you disappeared in front of me? But you called my name. I realized. I remembered you, Maxim. Don't talk now. Maxim, it's all right. The Sinistrals are gone forever. Lufia, hold on. Maxim, I was much happier in the short time I lived as Lufia and the eternity I spent as Aram. What are you talking about? We'll always be together. Maxim, I don't want to go yet. I want to be close to you, Maxim. You won't die. I won't let you, Lufia. Really? Trust me. We'll always be together? For a long time? Good. Good. Long time, Lufia. Lufia? Lufia. Lufia! Maxim, Doom Island. It's falling. Let's get out of here. It's too dangerous. Maxim, come quickly. Yeah. What are you doing? Come on. Professor, Doom Island is descending. Is it trying to land somewhere? No, it's out of control. It's falling. What? Falling? Wow, they did it. Didn't sound like he believed it, us. Elder, Doom Island. I know. I felt the energy vanish. You mean it's finished? At last. People of our world can live in peace and safety once more. Hooray! It's finished. What's the matter, Artea? My long battle is over at last. Finally, real peace will arrive. Guy, Maxim, Selen, all over. Everything is coming to an end. Uncle? I know. Everything is fine now. Guy, rest in peace. Sleep well. Maxim, we're getting out of here. Maxim, quickly. We get to see it, Paul? Phew. We escaped just in time. Any longer and we would have disappeared with Doom Island. Maxim? Don't, Jaren. There's nothing you can say to Maxim right now. But... We defeated the Sinistrals. Our journey ends here. No one can stop Maxim. So are we supposed to say goodbye now? Must it end this way? I can't. Maxim! 1 year later. Commander Aguro, where are you going? We're training recruits today. You have to be there. I have something else to do. I leave the training to you. You can do it. But it's my first time. I can't. Silence. Stop moaning. Just do it. That's an order. Yes, sir. I forget the name of all the towns, so I'm not sure when this is. Trek, maybe? Sorry to be so long, Jaren. Been a year, hasn't it, Aguro? Yes. Wonder what happened to Maxim. I don't know. He's not in Alekia. Don't know where he is now. But what? I know I'll see him again. I just feel it. Yes, I feel the same thing. See him again. A year has passed, Jaren, and there's something I want to tell you. What's going on, Aguro? Not like you to be so serious. How long do you think you're going to stay in this town? What? What do you mean, what? A year ago, you said there was no place for you to go. I brought you here. And yet, never looked for a new home. What are you saying? Am I bothering you? Yes, you're bothering me. Thanks to you, I can't even eat unless I serve in the army. I don't understand that. Hey, I earn my keep, don't I? It costs more than that when two people live together. I don't even have a girlfriend. Couldn't find a girlfriend even if I wasn't living with you. You weren't cute when I met you. 1 year later, you're still not cute. I don't care if you think I'm cute or not. What an attitude. No wonder you can't find a new place to live. Sound like an old married couple. Aris Village. Lufia's favorite flower, Lufia, in full bloom then. Okay. Hello, are you a traveler? Yes, I'm Maxim. I've been traveling around the world for about a year now. Around the world? I envy you. I've never been far from the village. Excuse me, but may I ask your name? I'm Lufia. I live in this village with my grandfather. Lufia? Is there something wrong with my name? No, not at all. Oh, Grandpa! Grandpa, this is Maxim. He's been traveling around the world. Oh my! Welcome to our little village. We're simple people, but please enjoy your stay here. Hey, Grandpa. It's all right. Why don't we let him stay with us? I want to hear about the world outside this village. Now that's a good idea. What do you say, Maxim? Would you like to tell her some of your stories? Of course. I'd be happy to. Oh, thank you. I'll go and make some tea. Tell me, Flake, who is she? That's Lufia. It can't be true. Lufia is... A year ago, we moved her to this village after her fall from Doom Island. She was weak, but she survived. So you're saying that she's really Lufia? Yes, she's Lufia all right, but she can't use magic now. What do you mean she can't use magic? She's just an ordinary girl now. But why? Maybe because of the dual blade. Great power affects people in different ways. Blade's energy changed Lufia. Her magic and her memory. All gone. Changed her? How can that be? No doubt about it. When I found her, she couldn't even remember how to speak. Well, what about her memory now? I taught her what she knows. Parts of that are just an illusion. I didn't know. But why do you want me to help Lufia so much? I don't know, I just... Grandpa, Maxim, he's ready. Come inside and relax. Oh, you made cinnamon tea. You usually don't make it. What changed your mind? Well, we have a guest and I thought it would be nice. When my guests come, you make ordinary tea. That's not true. Sometimes I make it for your guests. That's all right. My friends alone can't make you do this. I understand. But Maxim is your own age, Lufia. I know you'd want to do something special. What? Oh, you... How can you say that, Grandpa? Forgive us, Maxim. Just ignore him. I see. So, Lufia? You're saying you don't like him? I never said that. Let's just have our tea, please. Lufia. Really her, isn't it? Yes, but she's different from the Lufia you knew. I don't care, as long as she's alive. Even without her memory, she doesn't even remember you. Memories. That's alright. We'll make new memories. What are you two talking about? The tea's getting cold. Come inside, quick. Come in, Maxim. Lufia's waiting. I'll be right there. Okay. That Luf? No, that wasn't Lou, was it? He looked different. I don't know if I was supposed to recognize those kids. There's the sailor that had a different girlfriend in every port. It looks like they found each other. Y'all probably want a piece of his hide. Yeah, there's that entrance to the... where they kept giving us quests to go to the old cave. kind of just let the credits play, and while they still have different scenes going here, I'll hold off on giving my review for a little bit, just to see what's going to happen here. I don't want to cut off in the middle of a point. I think we got enough time. I didn't have that much left to do here today, so the ending was fairly long, but that was pretty good. I like that. Kind of wondering how they were going to resolve the whole issue of Lufia being Aram. That's probably Lou. Yeah, and Rail. I think that was Fredaria, but I don't know. I had so many labs, it's kind of hard to remember all. Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. The end. Okay, well. What is it going to do? We're going to start back with the beginning screen if I hit some buttons, or is it stay here? Okay, it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Hitting a few different buttons. Seems like it's doing anything, so I would normally try to go back to the beginning screen and just let some music play, but I think I'll just go through a quick review here on the silent black screen. Huh. Not done yet. That took a little while. Someday. That was a significant amount of time. Okay. Yeah, so they do give you some stats here. Playtime, not quite 23 hours. 3 deaths. I had more than that. Rested 73 times. Yeah, 1058 battles. Only ran away 11 times. Battle lose count 1. Not sure what that refers to. Roro died the most. And it would make sense that she didn't die as much because, well, she wasn't in the party as long. Opened boxes, I got 583 out of 655. And items, 123 out of 136. I don't know. I think that's pretty good. Considering there were a few areas, especially like in the ocean, where I pretty much completely skipped a couple of things almost. So I'm satisfied with that. I wasn't trying to do 100%. It just gotta stay here then? Okay, yeah, once again, I hit all the buttons and it didn't seem like it's gonna do anything else. So I'll leave my stats up there and I'll just give a short review. So, first of all, I go through just some positive points and some negative points when I do my reviews on these things. So we start with the positive. I thought it had a pretty good story. I actually liked that. I wasn't as familiar with the whole thing. I just dabbled in this game and didn't make it much more than an hour or two in, I don't think, before. So I was surprised with that and pleasantly surprised. And going along with the story, I thought they had pretty good dialogue between the characters for the most part. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't all gold, but I liked the way they bantered back and forth. It seemed very natural, and sometimes with some of these games, especially if the translation wasn't spot on, you kind of lose some of that, it feels like. But in this one, they did a pretty good job with it. Really made you kind of care for the characters a little bit and want to find out what's going to happen next. Yeah, I had another point where I just was going to say that, and I kind of already touched on it, but yeah, the character interaction was pretty good. The way they talked to each other and kind of made fun of each other a little bit. Did a pretty good job with that. Next, I thought it was a pretty good variety of spells in the game, and enemies for that part. So, you didn't have too many spells, but you had enough that you had a variety of different offensive and defensive type of things, and stat buffs and stuff like that. And a pretty good variety of different type of healing spells even. Thought they did a pretty good job there. Items, I think there were maybe a few too many of those even, just because they were kind of redundant once you got all the magic spells, for the most part. The last thing I wanted to mention for positives on my main points is the airship. Falcon, once you finally got it, was a pretty good airship. Even like I appreciated the fact that you could land on just about any tile. Seems like a lot of times in these games, the airships don't have quite that much flexibility, so I appreciated that. Now to talk about a few of the points that I didn't like very much about the game. And if you watch through my playthrough, you probably know what number one is. The encounter rate. It was horrendous at some points. The one thing I can say positively about it, I suppose, is that they kept making you get into so many encounters that it kind of eliminated the need to ever stop and level grind, because, well, just go through the next dungeon. You're going to be fighting the next battle. You're going to be fighting enough battles in that to get your levels up anyway. And the only thing that they put in there to mitigate it at all was that sweet water. And all that did was just reduce the encounter rate. And towards the end, I was using those pretty much through every step in the dungeons I was going through. So I could have leveled up even more if I wouldn't have been using those. But it probably would have taken another 2 or 3 parts to get through the game because of all the battles I would have had to fight. And even with the Sweetwater, sometimes it was like we were only taking 2 or 3 steps and getting another encounter. I know there was the other item, which I never used, called Foul Water. That would make you get into even more random encounters. I don't know why in God's name anybody would want to use that in this game. Because I would seem like you're probably getting into a battle every step you take if you used one of those, I would imagine. Just because the encounter rate was high enough as it was. So that's enough about complaining about that, though, I suppose. The next thing that I have is kind of a nitpick. Doesn't really mean that bad game because of this. Well, on the encounter rate, that doesn't make it a bad game either. I'm not saying that. It was still a good game. But the next thing I had to gripe with was the spell names. They weren't very intuitive, I don't feel, as to what the spell actually did. I don't know if that was an issue of, like, rights, copyright, or something like that. Like, not being able to use, like, just say cure or heal, or strength, or, you know. Or maybe it was a matter of translation. I don't know. But a lot of those spells, I don't feel like the name corresponded with what they were doing. And as far as names go, I suppose like Drain, other games have Drain in them as a spell. But in this one, it lowered defense of your enemy. That's not the type of thing I would expect that to do. And like Trick raised your attack power. I don't know. If there was a rhyme or reason to why they named things the way they did, I'd be interested. If somebody would want to let me know, but I didn't see why. The next thing is just another kind of a nitpick, and it kind of goes along with the encounter rate, but it was the dungeon design. A lot of the caves that you went into, and the towers for that matter, a lot of different branching paths, which would lead to a lot of backtracking if you're trying to get everything. And that wouldn't normally be as much of a problem, but when your encounter rate's as high as it was in this game, it can lead to a little bit of frustration, I think, for completionists. I suppose the only thing would be if you're using maps for stuff, it would help, but I try not to resort to that if I don't have to. Like, I did look up a world map, and I had it available just a couple of cases if I wanted to reference it so I wasn't flying around forever, especially when we didn't have travel that would allow us to get somewhere without encounters. Like, once I got the airship, well, I wouldn't really mind then. I could just fly around, but yeah, otherwise I did reference a map maybe 2 or 3 times, I think, to try to find the next destination. But in the dungeons, I did not utilize any of that. I just went in blind and tried to make my way through them. The last thing that I had to talk about, and I kind of already did, I guess, but I felt like there should have been some way that you had access to a map, a world map, I mean, like either through a spell that we could use or an item. And maybe there was something like that, and I just never encountered it or didn't realize it. But yeah, I feel like that for a Super Nintendo game, I feel like that's certainly something they could have had, and most good RPGs do have that. Even the first Final Fantasy game for the NES had a world map. Wasn't necessarily that detailed, but it was there. So yeah, that's about all I got to say about Lufia. I will be playing Lufia 2 at some point. I think I'm going to do it right away next, though, in this time slot, and I'll discuss that. But I just wanted to kind of finish the review by saying that I did enjoy this game. It was really good for story. The combat, everything was fine. I understand why some people are fond of this series. And I think for the most part, people that like it think that Lufia 2 is the best from what I've heard. So I'm assuming that they'll have some quality of life improvements to make that one even better. Although, it seems like we know how the story ends in that one because I think it's going to be a prequel. But we'll see how they handle that. So next in this time slot, what I plan on doing is I'm going to go back to another NES RPG. And it's a long-running series, but I haven't touched on any of them yet. And I'm certainly not going to do them in order. But I wanted to at least get one of them going so I can get that taken care of. And that's Dragon Warrior, or Dragon Quest. But I believe the first 4 that came out for the NES were called Dragon Warrior 1 4. I have played the first 3, I think, is as far as I ever made it in that series. And it's not like I played through them multiple times. It's been like maybe twice at the most. So we'll pick up here tomorrow and we'll start with Dragon Warrior 1. I don't think that's going to be a terribly long series. So I'll get through that and then we'll go back to Lufia 2 right after that. Anyway, that's the plan. So sometimes they change, I know, but we'll figure on going from there. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if you've been enjoying the commentary playthroughs so far, please like, comment, and subscribe or follow. And we'll catch you next time.